possible GTA suspect there now. 4730 Crystal Springs Drive in the parking lot above the merry-go-round. 2 males, no further description, adding striping to a black Cadillac 4-door.
Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of Dr. Capone. In this video I'm gonna build his hideout place. So sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. So guys, if you like to support me, you want to watch more what I'm doing, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe guys. And share it with all your friends. That will help me a lot. Thank you so much. After I've been decorating the walls with patterns and so on, it's time for, you guessed right, that's paint. For my base coat, I decided to go for some dark brown mixed with rust paint from Vallejo. And then I will give it some wash mixed with black and brown, dab it off with a paper towel. For the next project, I'm gonna build a bookcase using a lot of small pieces of wood. I'm using plywood in 3mm, 2mm and 1mm thick. After making all the rooms for the bookcase and putting up all these small details with all these small pieces of wood, it's time for paint. I decided to go for brown reddish color, washing it with dark brown mixed black. For the final effect, I decided to go for some Mod Podge matte for all the cracks and crevices for sealing up the paint. And now it's time for making some books. Here we have a lot of different books printed on a really high quality paper, thick 250 gram paper. The settings for the printer was on best settings and the result came out really spectacular. And for this case I decided to go for some balsa wood, shaping down the edges, making it roll round. Then I will use some white glue and glue all the pieces together, and then you have it. Perfect books. After spending the most of the day to make books, then it's time for them to be placed in order. I'm using some white glue to attach to the books. Then we put them up in a shell in order for everything to look nice. For the next in this project, I decided to build a cigar box. Here we have some mahogany wood. I'm gonna put it to the bandsaw and cut some smaller pieces, and then we will shape the size for our cigar box. For the cigars, I decided to go for a bamboo skewer, put it up to a bandsaw and then cut it to smaller pieces so it fits into the cigar box. guys, let's go for something we haven't built yet for the project. Let's do a table. Let's do a round table and let's make it really fancy. I'm gonna cut it in 3mm thick plywood. Then I'm gonna make the legs and I'm gonna attach everything. Then I'm gonna paint it in dark brown. And in the end, we're gonna finish it up with some Mod Podge gloss to give it that shiny look. Then it will be really nice. After the table been finished and it had been got the Mod Podge, looks really shiny and nice. It's time for making something for the table. Let's do an ashtray. After I have been giving the ashtray a lot of washes in different black variations, it's time for making some ash in the ashtray, and for there I go for some sawdust and gluing it with some super glue. And for this part I will duplicate the lampshade that I did made from a clear piece of acrylic. I will use super glue to keep it in place, then I will use the cardboard tube and I will seal it up with green electric tape. For when we are pour the rubber into the tube, we are making sure that the rubber doesn't gonna find its way through the cracks and then we'll have a leak on the table. So preventing that's why I'm using this green electric tape. For the next project in line, I decided to go for designing my own lamp. And in this case I decided to go for brass, because it gives this old nostalgic look and really high quality. So enjoy watching me cutting and filing, drilling and sanding a lot of custom pieces for this lamp. I also forgot to mention that I'm using a piece of really old oak. This type of oak have been lying in a lake for hundreds and hundreds, up to 5,000-6,000 years. That's why I got this black color. This piece of oak is really dense and really super hard to work with, but the results will come out really nice. So for you guys out there is more into details, this part is actually pretty important. So for this part I'm having two small tubes, they are hollow. So I'm gonna go for some wire. If you have ever tried to bend tubes, doesn't matter what type of tube, copper, brass, light steel or whatever. If you're trying to bend some tubes without putting something through, the point is that if you don't do that, it will collapse in the curve area where you're trying to bend it. After modifying a lot of brass pieces, it's time to assembling the lamp. Here are the lampshade from the rubber mold. I put some vinyl fabric on the lampshade to make it look like it was made from the time. I will glue the vinyl fabric to the lampshade with some super glue and cut off the rest of the fabric. After putting the fabric on the lampshade, it's time to put the wires in so we can have some light. For the sake of the course, we need to test the light with a battery, just to see if it works, guys, and it works. Okay guys, so here we have some small pictures of legendary mafia bosses from the time in the past. I'm going to cut them out. And I'm going to make frames for the pictures. And then I'm gonna paint all the pictures and the background with some dark brown paint, almost black. Then we are going to display them and decorate the walls on his hideout place. Now guys, for the next part of the video, the one and only legendary Thompson's submachine gun, aka the Tommy gun. I'm going to start with gluing these two pieces together to get some more thickness of the material. The same goes for the handle and also for the legendary round magazine. We're gonna modify a lot of the pieces to make it more realistic. Turntable, I'm going to use a plastic rod for making the barrels for the Tommy gun. After gluing all of the small pieces and knobs together, we have a Tommy gun. Now it's time for paint. First we're going to give it some base coats with Vallejo primer. And then after we got to start painting the Tommy gun with some Vallejo paint and ending up with give it a lot of washes. And now guys, let's decorate the table. A bottle of whiskey, a warning poster, and a glass of course with whiskey. So there you have it guys. May I present to you the legendary Dr. Capone and his hideout place.